Welcome back to The Perspective. Still with me is CEO of Qooco, Mr. David Topolewski. Mr. David, I understand that we have Qooco has a Asia Spelling Bee Cup in Kuala Lumpur. This is not the first Asia Spelling Bee Cup, though, is it?
No, this is actually the fifth
Right.
Spelling Cup we've had. We move it around every year. So first year we had it in Singapore, then we had it in Bali, a couple of years in Bangkok, and now here in Kuala Lumpur. We haven't decided where it's going to be next year, but 2019 will be Tokyo in advance of the Summer Olympics. 2021
All right.
we're going to be in Beijing in
Okay.
advance of the Winter Olympics.
Winter Olympics.
2022.
Right. What's the inspiration behind holding this Asia World Cup, Spelling Cup?
Well, spelling is a key function in understanding the English language, and I'm sure that's true of some other languages, though I haven't studied those. In learning about spelling, you learn that prefixes and suffixes. Understand where these roots came from. Where some of them may be Germanic roots, some of them may be Latin, some of them may be French, and so forth. It really empowers the language. But one of the other things which is really powerful is it drives a motivation and a love of language in terms of understanding, because English is not a single source. The English language is basically stolen from everybody.
Right.
And so you've got all these interesting connections from all over the world, and it's a very dynamic language in that sense. And it's going to help you learn. It's going to really push your brain.
Okay. And then the children or the people that are participating in this Asian Spelling Cup, what ages do they range from?
So we've got two groups. We've got the primary school kids,
Okay.
and if I remember correctly, the youngest participant this year is 5 years old.
5
which
years
is
old.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
From China,
Okay.
and that goes up to, I think, 12 for the primary, and then the secondary is 13 and up for secondary school students.
Right. And then if they win the Asia Spelling Cup, what kind of benefits do they get out of that?
Oh, they'll get into Harvard for sure. No, I'm just kidding.
We certainly hope so.
Yeah, well, and actually a lot of them have. One of the winners from China did actually get into Harvard, but we don't guarantee that. But they'll win a prize, whether it's a cash prize or one of the iPads that we've got there. But it's really opening some opportunities for them, and seeing the visibility of what types of opportunities come out of this. They're going to attract a lot more attention from colleges. I mean,
Right.
absolutely true. Like we some years ago we did some work with the Scripps spelling bee in
Right.
America, which has
Okay.
been going for a long time, and the visibility that they get among the admissions officers in various colleges definitely raised. So it's a very good thing. But I think a key thing, which is it's really a development of grit,
Right.
and two pieces to grit: perseverance and passion.
Right.
When you do this is a great predictor of life success.
Right. I've actually had the pleasure and the opportunity to interview one of the competitors that's competing this year. Her name is
Yeah.
Natasha Han. She explained that before that she could come to Kuala Lumpur, she had to go through a qualifier using an app from Qooco.
Yes.
Are there any more prerequisites that you need to take before you can come and compete here?
In certain markets, no. So we did this completely online. In China, we actually did a combination of online plus a physical,
Okay.
face-to-face competition. And over the next couple of years, we'll probably be introducing a physical final in each of these markets. But it's really a function of sort of the infrastructure that we have in place.
Right.
And in China being our home market, we have a lot more resources there.
Apart from the qualifying rounds
Yeah.
of using the app, there's really no limitation or restrictions on who can compete.
Correct. There's an age restriction, so
Of course.
you're either one or the other. And the international schools are typically not allowed because they're English medium.
Right.
And so we're trying to level the playing
Right.
field as much as possible.
Right. But it seems, because then it seems to me that it's inspiring more than just, oh, look at the things that you could achieve in the future, but it's also more of just kind of talking about the passion about learning these languages. Is that an aim or a target of Qooco?
It's a key point because we really want to change their fortunes in life, and English can actually do this because it opens up so many more opportunities internationally, and also I think from a country perspective. If you've got English language, well spoken, it opens up tons of opportunities in terms of foreign investment. Because you think about a lot of the places where they have, outsourced, call centers and whatnot, and that's purely because of language ability in English. And so, we see that there's no reason why this can't happen in Indonesia or Thailand or Vietnam or even China for that matter in due course.
Right. Qooco is a platform, so it is online, it is digital.
Yeah.
Do you think it differs greatly when you learn a language from a mobile app or a digital platform than it is when you have a teacher in front of you or it's a face-to-face education?
Well, we really see them as complementary because I think if you look at Asia objectively, there's been about 30 years, really starting in Japan in the 80s and Korea in the 90s. And it's just been an abysmal failure in terms of learning English, despite literally hundreds of billions of dollars being spent.
Okay.
And the key is the process. You've got to have a frequency of practice and actionable feedback.
Right.
And so what we're doing is really complementing teachers. We're doing a lot of the heavy lifting. I use the analogy. We're this huge army of nurses, and the teachers are the doctors, and so we're doing a lot of heavy lifting for them. And that they can focus on higher value activities, but you have to have the frequency of practice, and it's just not realistic to do with people only.
Right, and so it's not necessarily, so it's more like a supplement. It's more like a...
I would say the teachers are really, they're really complements rather than supplements, because when you look at the data, we actually do most of the heavy lifting, but the teachers can add a lot of value to this, but the teachers alone, it's extremely difficult to add value unless they're doing it every single day.
Okay.
And you're not going to find that many people that are in a position to afford a tutor every single day.
Right. And then right now, Qooco is not affiliated with any schools?
Correct. We work with a lot of schools in China and elsewhere, and we're providing the mobile solution with their local teachers. And then something we've just recently introduced in China is Teachers on Demand. So these are U.S. certified U.S. English teachers who teach in U.S. public and private school systems that can be accessed for 20-minute sessions, whether in a small class environment or one-to-one.
All right. But do you think that this form of learning, using the digital platform, complementing physical education with teachers as well, do you think that this kind of way of learning can be implemented with other subjects?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think one of the critical constraints in great learning is great teachers, and some teachers are actually better as teachers, and some teachers are actually better as coaches. And what we're doing, in our particular situation, is we're turning the teachers more into coaches, so they're in a monitoring role, they're more in a motivating role. Because let's face it, there's a lot of teachers who are supposed to teach English here that they can't speak English, they don't really understand it well. So we're taking that away from them and using our technology platform to really help them. They can then monitor the students and make sure that they're doing this and give them insights to this. So they're actually in a position to do less work and end up with much better student outcomes.
Right. We'll talk a little bit more about the future of Qooco and what you think the future of education is a little bit more when we come back from the break.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us on The Perspective.